Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to Bar Montenegro. This is Basketball Champions League. It's game day 7, and it's the clash between Mornar Bar and Gaziantep. Mornar Bar searching for that elusive first win in the Basketball Champions League. 0-6. It has been a rough old ride for this team. They've been they've competed. Just things haven't worked their way. In Group C this week, Tertiary Windmasters, Iberistar Tenerife, and just recently Nizhny Novgorod winning already. Nizhny Novgorod getting a late Brandon Brown jump shot to shoot down Vef Riga. Now it's all about Mornar Bar trying to get off the schneid, trying to get that first win of the season here in the Basketball Champions League, and to do it against a Gaziantep team that was going nowhere fast until they've discovered a little bit of magic, and they've gotten a couple of wins. So here are the standings. Gaziantep down at number 6, Mornar Bar down at number 8. And if there is time for Mornar Bar, well, you have to figure it starts now. They need to get wins. They cannot afford to lose any more games if they want to pop into that top 4. For Gaziantep, it's all about keeping the good feeling going that suddenly they seem to have found. They won with a last-second three-pointer against Nizhny Novgorod in their last game on game day 6. And as you look at their roster, you will not see the name Tamar Sanders, the man who made that shot. He's now gone. But Ismail Jim Ulusoy, Batahan Dickman, Orhan Hachieva, Drew Crawford, Vasilauskas, Yelovats, all the way down. It's a good team. I wouldn't say it's a great team, but it's a team, again, that seems to have played better as the season has gone on. Now, the week before that, they almost upset Iberistar Tenerife in the Canary Islands, losing that one 69-67. And the week before that, they won at Vef Riga 85-81. So, for Mornar Bar, Jacob Pullum, Derek Needham, Sejovic, Rayleigh Ross, Begic, Brisevic, Pavicevic, Waller, Markota, Branjes, Bielica, and Lukovic. Referees lining up for tonight's game as well, looking about as serious as you can look. Well, what can I tell you about these teams that you don't already know? We'll get into some of the factoids as both of these teams are introduced here to the crowd. The Mornar Bar 0-6 against Gaziantep 2-4. Gaziantep, as I said, have parted ways with Tamar Sanders, who didn't have the big average, 4.8 points and 2.6 rebounds in 5 games, but he did hit the game winner in their last game. Mornar Bar, the only team still looking for the win in the Basketball Champions League this season, and they've only won 1 of their last 17 games in the competition, going back over the years. Gaziantep have lost 7 games in the competition in which they've scored less than 75 points. So the key for them is to surpass the 75-point mark. 4 of the last 5 games have ended on point differential of 4 or fewer points. So they've been some close ones. Mornar Bar averaging a league low 17 points per game. Offense has been the difference. Gaziantep's bench is averaging 17.8 points per game, the fewest among all the teams in the Basketball Champions League as well. So you see their starters get out and really try to carry the load. Ivan Bua for Gaziantep has scored in double digits in his last 7 appearances in the Basketball Champions League. And he's, of course, he was with Besiktas last season. He's looking to hit double digits in each of his first 4 games with Gaziantep. And you can see the coaches shaking hands and also the players meeting at mid-court. And John Uga, Daryl John Chinko, Bua, Medahan Akyal, Jason Rich. I want to make sure I mention those guys in that Gaziantep team. And the referees for tonight, lining up from Greece in the middle, Georgios Orsinidis, Michael Prost from Poland, and Kristaps Konstantinovs from Latvia. And we'll get a look at the starting 5s for both of these teams. We'll get to look at the starting 5 shortly here. As we were saying, Ivan Bua has scored in double digits in his last 7 appearances in the Basketball Champions League, and looking to get double digits in each of his first 4 games with Gaziantep. The last season, again, he was at Besiktas, and he scored in double digits in his first 7 games. And really, when Ivan Bua has it going, Gaziantep are a much better, a much more dangerous opponent, and I would be awfully surprised if they did not get the big man going, or try to get him going early. Leading the way for Mornar Bar this season, Jacob Pullen averaging 17.2 points per game. Needham as well, 11.2 points per game. So Hatsieva, Crawford, Vatsilauskas, Jason Rich, and Ivan Bua in that starting 5 for Gaziantep. And Nenad Markovic, the coach of Gaziantep. For Mornar Bar, Jacob Pullen, Derek Needham, Mirza Begic, Damir Markoda, and Nemanja Vanjas. Loyal fans of Mornar Bar showing up, and we are just minutes away here from the opening tip of this Game Day 7 clash. Mornar Bar has yet to win a game in the Basketball Champions League this season. And again, we've already looked at the standings and at their plight, and they really cannot afford to wait around. They've got to get it going, and they've got to get it going now. Gaziantep, meanwhile, winners of 2 of their last 3 games in this competition. And it was almost 3 straight wins, but they lost a heartbreaker at Markovic's old club, Avirstar Tenerife. There's Mihailo Pavicevic, the coach of Mornar Bar. And remind you folks, get the Basketball Champions League app loaded into your smartphone. It has all the stats, latest updated standings, videos, interviews, everything you need and more in the Basketball Champions League app. Also go to championsleague.basketball to check out the same information, and you can also read all the great reports, hear the Coast to Coast podcast, which is always good. Read the transfer reports, read the tough calls, read the power rankings. Well, good evening, folks. We are coming to you live from Bar Montenegro as Mornar Bar taking on Gaziantep here in the Basketball Champions League on game day 7. And Gaziantep, winners in 2 of their last 3 games, winning the opening tip and attacking the basket to your right. As Vasilevskas coming in missing, but then Ivan Bua tipping in his first 2 points of the game. So that's a good sign already for Gaziantep. Now the pass down low to Begic. That's an interesting matchup with Ivan Bua. Bua rebounds it, gets it over to Vasilevskas. Now Mornar Bar, talking about the power rankings, which are compiled each week by Igor Cherkovich. They're down number 32 out of 32 teams. So they might not get to the playoffs. They'd at least like to get off the bottom of the power rankings. Ivan Bua misses that shot. Derek Needham falls down, gets back up, and brings the ball up the floor. Gaziantep, with their recent form, they've actually climbed in the Basketball Champions League to number 22. And the lob to Mirza Begic. The Slovenia center puts it back. There he is scrapping away. Ivan Bua not able to get the basketball. And now foul has been called.
Personal foul for the player number 45 in Gaziantep, Ivan Bua. First personal and first team foul.
Beautiful bounce pass, and Begic goes in for the one-handed dunk. And a quick reply by Gaziantep. And Rich. Jason Rich, very explosive player, as is Drew Crawford. Relevats gets a hand in the face. Van Bua rebounds it and hands it off to Crawford. Rich, outstanding shooter, gets it to Hatsieva. Now Bua steps outside and hits the 3. How about that from the big Croatian center? Now the foul called on Hatsieva.
Personal foul for the player number 7 in Gaziantep,
Hatsieva, I think, does a lot of the dirty work that maybe isn't fully appreciated. He's got to guard Marketa tonight. Ball inbounded to Ranyes, but not able to catch the basketball. Vasilevskas brings it up the floor, now to Rich. Vasilevskas again, and Hatsieva. Begic going to work on Bua, passes it back outside to Marketa. Now Vranjes. Here's a Begic with the rebound, but does what you're not supposed to do as the big fella, put the ball on the deck. Nevertheless, Vranjes picks up the loose ball and puts it in. Rich doesn't wait around. He launches a three and misses. And the ball goes back out of bounds. A bit of miscommunication there, perhaps, with Begic and Pullen. Rich out to Vasilauskas. So Gaziantep started pretty fast, but offensively things have dried up a little bit. Three-pointer is good from Damir Markuda, the former Croatia international. Now Rich, feet set, but short with his attempt. Pullen has it on the deck, now pulls up and nails the jump shot and puts Mornar Bar in front. 7-0 run right now for Mornar Bar. 7 unanswered points. Bua turns, misses, follows. And the rebound from Mornar Bar. Now Pullen, or Needham, excuse me. Needham gets it over to Pullen. Long. Begic rebounds the miss. Back to Pullen. Drifts in the lane. Scrap for the ball. Rich had his hands on it, but Pullen comes away with it and scores. That was a costly failure to rebound the basketball by Rich. Crawford fouled down on the baseline. This is what's so maddening if you're a fan of Gaziantep. You know you've got good form in recent times. And then you come to an 0-6 team and, you know, you want to get on top of them and give them no whiff of a chance. But you hit a slump. You've given up 9 straight points, 9 unanswered points. And that run could grow. Vranjes gets the pick by Markuda. Launches it from downtown. Begic rebounds it, missed, but hands it, or has it stolen by Drew Crawford. And then Vranjes able to get the kick. So Gaziantep looking like they might get a fast break bucket there, but Crawford not able to get the pass to his teammate. Vranjes comes out. Good work from him. We talked about the bench for Gaziantep. They don't score a lot of points. They need some production out of the guys on the floor right now. Vasilauskas back to Rich. Crawford from downtown, and that's good. Crawford grabs the miss. Now Bua goes in. Begic put him off the shot. Another miss, another rebound, this time by Vasilevskis. Vasilevskis puts it up, misses, and now Bua gets it, and then tries to score. Didn't go to the basket, though. It was kind of falling away and missed it. And quickly, another basket for Derek Needham. Push has been called on Mirza Begic. Uroš Lukovic checks into the game for Begic. Ball inbounded. Yelovats, he gets it off to Vasilevskis. Now inside it goes, and Ivan Bua dunks it. He was really all alone. Now they dump it down low. Lukovic catches it and scores immediately after coming into the contest. Well, teams trading blows here in the first quarter. Biggs getting a lot of touches. Crawford runs to baseline. Rich gets it to Bua. And again, hesitates but not able to score while being guarded by Uroš Lukovic. Mark it, this is Badley. Rich, fouled by Pullen. 1:19 remaining here in the first quarter. Rich went to his right, and it's just a I don't want to play defense foul by Pullen. Crawford from the right, and that's good. We talked about the offense that he has to supply, that Rich has to supply, and Ivan Bua has to supply. And from time to time, Vasilevskis can get hot. And now foul out on the perimeter by Hajieva.
Substitution in Gaziantep, number 7, Mornar Bar replaced by number 13, Stevan Yelovats. Equipa Gaziantep izgubi bonus.
So Yelovats comes back into the game and replaces Hajieva. Oh, look at that, Derek Needham. He can hit the three, but right now he's doing some damage with his penetration and putting Mornar Bar back on top by 2. Crawford bounce pass into the corner, behind the back to Rich. Yelovats open. Now Crawford takes the 3. And look at the emotional fist pump there by Pullen for Mornar Bar. Alley-oop. Oh, and the dunk! I didn't think it was going to get there, but it looked like Uroš Lukovic reached over. Watch this. Well, that was a great catch and flush. Now Lukovic comes up with the swat. Pavicevic won't be complaining with the last 10 seconds or so of Uroš Lukovic's play. He's been outstanding. Well, Vasilevskis looks to inbound the ball. Final seconds ticking off the clock, and Gaziantep got it inside to Yelovats, who missed an easy one, or a relatively easy one. And that is the end of the first quarter. Mornar Bar leading it 19-15 over visiting Gaziantep. (19-15), Mornar Bar on top of Gaziantep. Well, the early numbers favor Mornar Bar, 67% inside the arc compared to 20% for Gaziantep. Well, Uroš Lukovic has only played 2.5 minutes, but he's got 4 points, a rebound, and 2 blocks. And 2 of those 4 points came on a rather impressive jam after the lob. So we'll see how Gaziantep contend with him. Ivicevic looks on, has to be happy with how things are going. 6 points for Needham. And second quarter underway here in Bar Montenegro. Now the dump and the miss. And the rebound by Yelovats. Driving around also Ismail Jim Ulusoy in the game, number 1. Crawford goes down after receiving a blow. Oh, boy, he did. He got it from Mirza Begic big time. Like he came out to set the pick, and Begic is obviously bigger, and with his arms up, must have caught Drew Crawford right in the neck area. It is again. Oh, I could call that an unsportsmanlike. Watch again, here we go. Right, you're not going to see it from that angle. So I think they're reviewing it to see if indeed it is an unsportsmanlike. And they're having a good think about it. So here, watch this, now he goes, number 51. I don't know. I don't think they will call that unsportsmanlike. Well, from that angle, makes me think maybe they will call it. Here we go. They've looked at it. And indeed, they have called it unsportsmanlike. So it'll be 2 shots and possession. Well, that could be a big play with Gaziantep trailing by 4 points, but Crawford misses the first free throw. does make the second. And Montenegro International Bielica will hope that that is all they score, that 1 point on this trip down the floor. Rich decides to take the shot, misses. Good scrap for the rebound, and Ulusoy puts it up and in with the left hand. Well, he is steadily becoming a better player. And I give credit to Coach Markovich for giving him those minutes and the club sticking by him, because he certainly had some shaky moments earlier on this season. Driving in and drawing the foul was Brandis Rayleigh-Ross. So that foul called on Akiel. So Rich takes his first break. Vasilevskas comes back in. Also Crawford goes out. So this is a key time here for Gaziantep. Without two of their main scorers going to the bench. So it's Medahan Akiel, Errol Jonchenko, Yelovats, Jim Ulusoy, and Vasilevskas in the game for Gaziantep. Here's Ulusoy. Oh, that was a high dribble. Ulusoy with the spin and puts it up. They called the foul. Medahan Akiel was there for the putback. Oh, wow, they've called an offensive foul. Surely not. Surely they haven't called that on Medahan Akiel. In fact, they did. So Shajovic, I think, quite fortunate, judging from the replay, that was called. Vukovic hands it off. And Brandis Rayleigh-Ross drives again to the basket and scores. Now good defense, threatening to force the turnover. So very active, Brandis Rayleigh-Ross. I think Ross senses that Jim Ulusoy might be a little suspect with the ball handling, and so that is proof positive right there, with Ulusoy just losing the ball out of bounds. And the foul before the shot on Errol Jonchenko. Shajovic has to watch his elbows. Rolling to the basket, and Uroš Lukovic continues to cause problems. Outstanding contributions from him from the bench tonight, and Mornar Bar go up 23-18. So Milko Bielica commits the foul on Yelovats. Vasilevskis looks off the pass. No, now he goes back outside to Ulasoy. And Lukovic gets the rebound. Now the miss. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay down at this end. Nope. Yes, they will. Matahan Akyal now pleading his case. Watch this. Akyal there in position. Yep, that's a good call. Good call by the ref. Waller gets it over to Ross. Ross spins. Back to Waller. Steps into a three. But misses pretty much everything. Gaziantep just trying to keep the game within touch. And Vasilevskis hits the jump shot. Gets it back to a three-point game. It is noticeably less firepower, especially when you don't have Crawford and Bua out there. And when Rich is in form, you'd say the same. He hasn't been really at his best this season. Ross gets inside and puts it up and earns a trip to the free throw line. Ulasoy had his hands all over him. But that's who they called the foul on. So Ivan Bua now checking back in to the game. And Matahan Akyal goes back out. Ross has certainly been a problem since he's come into the game. For Gaziantep, makes both free throws. So Gaziantep called timeout, trailing 25-20. Let's go down to the bench and try to listen in to Coach Markovic. And you have to appreciate also the shooting percentage is much better for Mornar Bar. Other games in action tonight. Already seen the other three Group C games have been played. Nizhny winning by 2 points in their game over VEF Riga. Bearstar Tenerife, they won yesterday. They're up at the top, 7-0. Nymburk 5-2 in second place, and Nizhny, Borussia Bamberg, and Peristeri Windmasters all at 4-3, following in third, fourth, and fifth place. Gaziantep down in sixth. VEF Riga now 1-6 and seventh, and Mornar Bar at 0-6 are eighth. Jelivac decides to let one fly, and he hits it. Serbia international. Another foul called, and it puts Ross right back to where he just was at the free throw line. Branish looks on from the bench. Team's under a lot of pressure, knowing they haven't won in this. And their hopes are gonna, you would think, die if they don't get a win tonight. Obviously, mathematically, they'd still be in there, but it would be a long way back to contention. As Velasquez goes down, looks at the referee. So it was Waller who kind of clipped his feet. Watch his feet. Kind of tripped him up. Team has a little bit of nastiness to it. These teams getting after each other. Sumo over to Bua. He hands it off to Vasilevskis now. Bua goes in. Oh, look at the big fella. Put it on the deck, but misses the shot. Now Ross makes no mistake. Banked it in on the drive. And he continues to be the man with the plan when it comes to scoring the baskets. Bounce pass, good pump fake for Bua. They're going to count it. Begic called for the foul. Look at this. So they did count it, and now he has a chance for a three-point play. Milošević comes into the game, number 17. Also, Derek Needham comes back into the contest. Shajevic goes out. First free throw rather is good, so that makes it 28-26. And the shot by Pullen is good, puts it back up to 31-26. And Mornar Bar strong here in this first half. Now putting it up from a long way out, no good. There's Jacob Pullen. And Jelovec drives in and takes the bump from Vucevic, so he will go to the free throw line. It's on Bielica. Let's see, have another look. No, it's Vucevic, number 17. Vlade Vucevic. Cinco goes out, takes a seat. And meanwhile, Jelovec is ready to take his second free throw. Now the ball on the deck and Pullum missing. I'll tell you, Mornar Bar, they've been on top, but they're not really putting distance between themselves. Bua defended well by Vujacevic. Passes it back outside. Crawford. Now the three-point attempt off the back of the iron. And Vujacevic again doesn't get the call that he desires, and Bua will get free throws. Very clever Ivan Bua there, making sure he gets the contact. Vujacevic makes the most of the opportunity. Going to call timeout. Bua made the layup, and he'll go to the line for one. Give the assist to Vasilauskas. We've got timeout. Shooting percentages there, and the three-point makes.
Going down. On this side. Oh, you have open shot. It's not. One more. Stop the play.
Mornar Gaziantep 37. Dodatno slobodno bacanje za Ivana
Bua takes his time and makes the free throw for the three-point play. And now slipping down and turning it over was Pullum, or Needham rather. A little bit unlucky. Rich takes the bump, and Vujacevic this time wins the battle. Gets it back. Bielica back to Vujacevic. Needham over to Pullum, back to Needham. Now Vranjes, and Vranjes hits the three. Rich launches the three off the back of the iron. Jason Rich with just 2 points. Pullum. Now from the wing, Bielica misses. Another chance for Gaziantep here with a minute and a half to go. in the first half. Vasilevskis. All about it, puts it on the deck and takes the layup. Well, nobody rotated over to cut in front of him for Mornar Bar. And it was an easy one, alertly taken by Vasilevskis. Well, Gaziantep have not been at their best tonight, but they trail by just 1 point. So Mornar Bar might end up regretting not putting some more distance between themselves and this Gaziantep team. The three-point shooting numbers. Each team has led by as many as 5 points.
Gledamo za ovo. Marko da ti se raširi. Marko da spremi. Ako ne napadimo. Vraćaj me se ako ne bude sutra. Vraćaj me se u outside ako ne bude sutra. Nothing happen outside.
Here coming up on the end of the first half, and it's Mornar Bar with possession and leading by 1. Vranjes finds space and drills another three-pointer. That's someone you want to leave open clearly, the way he's knocked in that three-point shot tonight. Well, foul has been called. Vranjes is complaining that he was hit while attempting to. I didn't see anything. Vranjes 2 of 4 from three-point range tonight, 3 of 6 overall. They foul Marketa. Jelevat's usually a pretty good free throw shooter, misses the first. Pass to the cutting Pullen, brings it out. Now Needham knocks it in. Another three-pointer, and suddenly it's their biggest lead of the game, 6 points. So Nenad Markovic with 41 seconds to go calls timeout.
Jason has the ball, okay? Because Pullen is gone. Drew, you will be here, okay? Pula will be here. Stella will be here. Jen will be here, okay? Jason, you are bringing the ball direct, okay? You are coming. You don't go to screen. Direct attack. Bonus. Let's try to throw foul. Go to the basket a minute, okay? We pick up. They will not play 24 seconds, so we have one more offense. Hey, with one more offense, let's post up Stefan again. Okay?
No fault safe, man. They know already what we're doing. We're one down.
Let's play one down. Let's play one down to post up Stefan.
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Okay, you could hear the last play that was Going up there by Coach Markovich. See how they can respond trailing by 6 points. Which goes behind his back, gets it back. Over to Ulasoy. Mornar Bar have it back, and they can hold it for one shot. Out of 3-second differential, the game clock and the shot clock. Yelitsa Marketa drills the three-pointer. Could have held it a little bit longer. Ulasoy loses it, gets it back, and boy, that was almost a disaster. Very sloppy there. But that last-ditch three-point attempt, no good for Mornar Bar, but nevertheless, they take all the momentum with them to halftime after the Marketa three-pointer. 43-34, Mornar Bar on top of Gaziantep at halftime. Well, they've got 2 more threes now than Gaziantep, and 11 of 18 inside the arc, Mornar Bar, to just 8 of 24 for Gaziantep. More rebounds, assists, and steals for the home side. Gaziantep are going to have to rouse themselves here at the break. Needham with 9 points, Branyish with 8, and Rayleigh Ross with 7. Bua has a game-high 10 points for Gaziantep, 7 for Crawford. But so far, not much going right for Jason Rich, just 1 of 6 from the floor with 2 points. So at halftime, it's 43-34, Mornar Bar on top of Gaziantep. We'll be right back before the start of the second half.
restore the Foster. Oh, baby! You gotta be kidding me! What a play by Marcus Foster! What a pass by TJ Klein! Oh, my Lord!
Young, over to Rachel. And Vasturia picks it up, hands it off, and great play from Vasturia. And hands it off to Murphy, who not only scores, but is fouled on the play. That is. Drives in, gets to Zima, and Silla just with one of the blocks of the night. Well, that was big time. Kissick with the one-handed running slam. It was that crossover movement that lost Galdekis, and he explodes to the basket. He's up to 22 points, another 20-plus point game for him.
Broden has it on the ball reversal. You don't stop him. Oh! Get out of that highlight picture. Tony rolled down the middle. As we said, if you don't stop him, and he just threw it hard.
Oh, what a play, the alley-oop to Brown. That was one of the plays of the game right there.
Tenerife need to execute. And now Hertas kicks it back out. Wide open three is good for Lundberg yet again. Close inside with the big thunder jam. Onyegela takes no prisoners with that play over the top of two Besiktas defenders.
Jim Olasoy gives it to Crawford. Over to Saunders. He puts it up. He had a lot of time left. Oh, he hit the three! Can you believe it? Unbelievable! There will be no overtime. 3-point shot by Sanders.
43-34, Mornar Bar on top of Gaziantep here at halftime of this game day 7 Group C clash. Mornar Bar searching for their first win in the Basketball Champions League this season. Gaziantep coming into this game having won 2 out of their last 3, and they almost won at Iberostar Tenerife, the one game that they didn't win in that 3-game span. So even though they're on the road, you would have expected them to maybe even start as favorites, but Mornar Bar playing a little bit better right there at the end of the first half to open up their biggest lead of the game. So a lot of work to do for Gaziantep if they want to keep the good times rolling and get a second straight win. Jason Rich, very important for any team that he plays for. You can see him talking there. Only 1 of 6 from the floor, 2 points. Drew Crawford, 7 points on 2 of 5 shooting, so they are a combined 3 of 11. And that's not going to cut it for this Gaziantep team. They need those 2 guys to be in a good vein of form. And Ivan Bua as well, even though he has 10 points, he's 4 of 10 from the floor, 3 of 9 inside the arc. So even he's could do some improvement. So, second half action underway, and it's Gaziantep with possession. Rich passes it back to Vasilauskas. Gives it to Crawford, and then nice interchange there. Nice passing and finishing with a layup for Hajieva. Well, that's a good start to the second half, certainly. Rich coming up and knocking the ball away. Jacob Pullen pulls it back. Uroš Lukovic starting in the second half here from Mornar Bar. Now the ball goes out of bounds and back over to Gaziantep. And now pass intercepted, and they're going to call the foul on Crawford. So 1 pass too many that time. Good job by Vranjes to step in that passing lane and take it the other way. Long 3-point attempt is good. And he's fouled. So Pullen. It's his reputation to take those threes. And Jason Rich, it has not been his night. Pullen pulling a lot of the strings and makes it a 4-point play. And just like that, it's an 11-point lead, the biggest of the game. Good strong play by Crawford. And Ivan Bua, wow, he got into a good position there, but to be honest, Mornar Bar was, they played about as good a defense as you could down low. And then quickly taking what they give him is Needham. He turns and scores and pushes the lead up to 13. Hey, this Mornar Bar team looks like it's fired up tonight. They want to get that first win, get that monkey off their back. Rich for 3. Boy, he's having a nightmare. Good shooters keep shooting, and that's what he's doing, but it's not happening right now. Pullen launches another one, this time misses everything. Now they're arguing that the ball was blocked. So it'll be Mornar Bar possession with 6 on the shot clock. Marketa, he can shoot it from deep and just grazes the outside of the net. Gaziantep spins his way up the floor. They're really having problems with the guard play of Mornar Bar, Gaziantep. And Gaziantep just can't make any mistakes right now. Hey, that one turnover just killed them. There's Rich, and that's why if you're a good shooter, you keep taking it. You don't lose confidence. You just got to see the ball go through the basket. Now, next time, he'll be even more confident when he takes that shot. Gets it back to a 10-point game. Crawford outside to Marketa. Gets it right back as well. Amir Marketa wide open. Vasilevskis back to Bua. And now he hits a three-pointer. His second of the night. So Ivan Bua cuts the deficit. In fact, they're saying Damir Marketa's shot was a 2, not a 3, so now it's a 9-point lead. Branjes. Tell you what, if that had gone in, this would have been a 3-point shooting fest. Crawford on the break, passes it back. Now he gets it inside to Bua. Good pass by Rich. And Ivan Bua will go to the line. Gaziantep look organized offensively. They know exactly what they want to do. So I think Nenad Markovic had a really good talk at halftime. I mean, anytime you have a big fella, say he's around 2 meters, 2.1 meters, 2.13 meters in height, like Bua, you want to go to him. Get him in the paint and get him the rock. That free throw cuts it back to an 8-point deficit. And now it's a 7-point deficit. And this is typically where either Pullen, Vranjes, or Needham will make a play. Pullen passes it inside, and Uroš Lukovic catches it while going to the basket and draws the foul. So 2 free throws for Uroš Lukovic. Big center makes the first one. He looked good on those shots, didn't he? Lukovic. I think Yelovats was impressed. Rich in the corner, they swing it. Crawford for 3. Marketa with the rebound. Needham. Back to Marketa, wide open Vranjes. She passes it over to Pullen for 3. Good! Boy, that was patience extraordinaire. Pushing the lead back to 12. They've got so many good shooters in that team. Rich again pulls up from mid-range. He feels it now. You can see it. He gets any space, it's going up. Past the midway point here of the third quarter. Marketa. Gaziantep a bit on the pump fake. Good recognition there by Ivan Bua. And a good foul by Needham to prevent the fast break. Well, I've been impressed by Mornar Bar's approach tonight. I mean, you know, you come in here, you're 0-6. It's been a disappointing campaign, but you can see that they've got the sense of urgency tonight to get the big home win. Wow, that's a tough miss there for Ivan Bua. He worked his way down deep into the paint underneath the basket and missed it. And now Marketa puts up an air ball. So throughout his career, he's been able to hit that three-point shot. Played to play for Croatia's national team. Rich tempted to take the shot. He does. Again, look at that. He couldn't throw it in the ocean at the start of the second half, and now he's made his last three. And that has to worry Mornar Bar. Crawford got there just a little too late. You see the pass was coming to Vranjes. Needham probes, takes it back out. Shot clock winding down, pulls up and misses, but Lukovic throws it or bats it out of bounds, and now it's going to end up being Gaziantep basketball. Good effort. You see, Rich is making plays on offense, and it seems to be spreading to his play on defense as well. Feeling much more confident about his game, or maybe not confident, but good about his game. Bua, short little jump hook, and now it's a 6-point game. And this is the difference with Gaziantep, you know. I mean, it's these wins that they've been collecting, even when they fall down, they don't lose hope. They don't lose heart. They keep battling. They seem to have a good sense for what they want to do. They just got to get some stops, which they do not that time with Needham. Milko Bielica coming back into the game at the next dead ball for Mornar Bar. Vasilauskas pump fake. And 3-second violation. I think was called. On Ivan Bua. Yes, it was. Bielica back in. Radier Vujashevich also comes back in. Yalovats comes in for Gaziantep. Also, Waller gets his own rebound and passes it back outside to Poland for the open three. Well, you know, you say it's you can't let him have any open threes, but he's taken them so far out. Look at that. He's about a meter behind the arc. Yalovats launches the three. Good job by Rich to bat it back out to Crawford. And now Needham commits the foul. So Ross will come back in for Needham, who now has 3 fouls. And for Pullen, he's 4 of 10 from three-point range. Seems like he's made even more than that. That's from Crawford. Nope. Yelovats keeping it alive, but Bielitsa wins the battle for the rebound. Good hustle back by Yelovats to come up with the steal. Now Vasilevskis spins. And here's the whistle coming, and he makes it. Are they going to count it? If they count that, that is spectacular. But they may have called the foul before the shot. Yeah, they called it. No, are they counting it? Oh, unlucky. I thought maybe he had a chance there to get that. Alert play by Vasilevskis. Unfortunately, the decision is not going to let him get into the top 5. Nevertheless, Bua, talking about top 5 highlights. Bua hits the jump shot. Gaziantep trying to stay within striking distance right now. It's a 9-point game. Crawford rebounds the miss. Outlet over to Vasilevskis. Again, spins, hands it off, and Ivan Bua goes in, fouled by Bielitsa, number 4. But he'll get free throws. Number 4 in the quarter. Bua bends his knees, takes his time, and makes the first one. Right behind Akiel is going to come into the game. 8 points. Get the feeling really the bench is not the strong suit of this Gaziantep team. So what they've got to do, those guys that come in, they have to win in the hustle department. They've got to scrap. They've got to beat the opponent to the loose balls, and they've got to play smart. Van Bua goes out. And obviously defensively, they can win that battle as well. And the rebounding, they just got to apply themselves. Crawford's still out there. He'll be their go-to man. Oh boy, nice little shimmy getting down there on the baseline. Pulling, boy, he's feeling it. He is keeping that scoreboard ticking over for Mornar Bar. Bounce pass to Akiel. I don't think he was quite ready for it. And fortunately for Gaziantep, they get it back. Yelovats pulls up for 3. And they scrap again for the basketball. And Ross comes up with it. So the last shot for Mornar Bar. I think Yelovats might have taken that shot too early. Of course, if he makes it, then I don't say that. Pulling. Long way out to Ross. Misses. Still a little bit of time. Crawford, I don't think it's going to count. Nope. Well, all things considered, Gaziantep still in it with 10 minutes remaining, trailing here at Mornar Bar, 63-54. 10 minutes to go. Well, Jacob Pullen with 17 points. He's certainly the main problem right now for Gaziantep. It just seems like you know, when they're scrambling for a basket, he tends to come up with a big one, whether it's a three-pointer, whether it's a mid-range jumper. Needham also has increased his tally to 13 points now. And now Ross is in the game, who's the problem. So but with 10 minutes to go, and Gaziantep have had their share of close games this year, they know what it's like. They've just got to execute, and they've got to make sure they find that man right there. Don't let him beat him. You can see Ross as well, number 13. Brandis Rayleigh Ross. Vucevic. Akyal can sag on him. He does. Oh, now he just pulling, falls down. Rich had the advantage. Ends up going in, forcing up the shot. Gaziantep get it back. And was a foul called? Boy, you feel bad for Rich because he was in the open floor. Then he just kind of like lost his dribble. Then he ended up forcing the attempt. And he's caught like a finger to the eye or something. Look at this. Oh, he got in the elbow. He got the elbow from his own teammate, from Akyal. Metahan Akyal. Bielitsa looking for his first points. And now Metahan Akyal called for a foul. Well, he had his arms around Vucevic there. Shot from the corner. Oh boy, that is a dagger. Even though it's early in the quarter, Waller drilling it from the left corner to take the lead back to 12. Oh, nice answer from Drew Crawford, and he will go to the line for a three-point play. Foul on Radier Vucevic. Oh no, they did not. They did count it, and then it was an off-the-ball foul, so they ended up getting a 4-point trip down the floor. It was an off-the-ball foul. So that turned out to be a very productive trip, 66-58. It was on Vucevic. It was Akyal drawing the foul. Now pulling again. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, you're running out of words, but it's what he's done his entire career. He just knows how to put the ball in the basket from a long way out. 5 three-pointers now for him. He's got 20 points overall. And the lead goes back to 11. Timeout, Nenad Markovic. The three-point shooting. 5 more threes have been made by Mornar Bar tonight.
stop the gear. And take rebound.
Mornar Gaziantep 8 minuta 27 sekundi do kraja četvrtog četvrtine.
So coming out of the timeout, and Bielitsa called for a foul playing defense on the low post on Jelovats.
Treći igrač sa brojem 51 u ekipi Mornara Gaziantep.
Well, that was, anytime you reach around like that, you're inviting the referee to make that call. That's what he did. Bielitsa goes out. Marketa comes back in. Asilaskis over to Crawford. And Crawford is fouled. He'll take that. Waller will go back out of the game. Waller stays in. Well, for a team that's winning by double digits, they don't look that happy. Must be tired. Crawford takes his time and makes another one. They've still got some options. Vicevic over there on the sidelines. Some good players still to insert in the game. Or to bring back. Pulling, passes it over to the corner. Now driving in is Ross. Good play by Ross. Good play by Mornar Bar. Ulusoy, well, he left his feet not knowing what he was going to do. Hasn't played as well as I anticipated tonight. And now he turns it over again. Well, those are costly turnovers. That foul has been called with Bua on the ground, holding his neck. Maybe they just stopped play, in fact. You see Bua out there on the perimeter. No, sorry, it's Ulusoy who's not Bua. So Rich has come back in meanwhile, having been treated, and Ulusoy goes out. Bounce pass, beautiful play, great recovery by Begic. Looked like he thought he had a clean block. So did I. Have another look. Great bounce pass. I know, there's some body. Good effort though by Begic. Maybe a little unlucky they called that foul. Miloš Lukovic comes back into the game. So possibly a break here for Bua to get to the free throw line, and he makes the first 22 points for Ivan Bua. 7 rebounds. But Gaziantep now 23 points. Gaziantep still trailing by 9. They can't seem to string together a few stops. Waller in the game, bounce pass. Uroš Lukovic pass to the corner, Marketa. Oh! Wow, this is just going to be their night, I think. He brought some rain with that three-pointer. It's almost like a prayer he threw up. Vasilauskas, meanwhile, comes right back for Gaziantep. They're not giving up, but they've got to get stops. But every time they're about to do something, it seems like this Mornar Bar team hits a big three-pointer. But this time they throw it inside, and Uroš Lukovic just throws it down. This time Bua loses it, doesn't catch it. And we're coming up on the 5-minute mark in the game. Vasilauskas called for a hold there. The Mornar Bar have committed 4 fouls in this quarter, just 2 for Gaziantep. So any more fouls for Mornar Bar, that'll put Gaziantep on the line. It may not matter. Oh, look at Rich, not able to grab the rebound. Watch this. He had it with his right hand, then he tried to get it with his left hand, and it just went out of bounds. That sums up their frustration tonight, that one play. Needham's blocked from behind by Crawford. Good effort by Crawford. Well, the loss of the Rich rebound ended up not hurting him that badly. They lost a few seconds. Now Crawford steps to his left. His 3 off target. We were not able to corral the rebound. And the pass over to Lukovic. Catches it, but he's fouled. He's really been a problem, Lukovic. Offensively, you know, showed good skills when he's got his hands on the ball in the low post. Here he is, look at this. Does well, he doesn't bring the ball down, keeps it up. Then he gets fouled. Getting into the paint, missing was Ross. And Bua picks up rebound number 8. Crawford drives in, draws the foul from Uroš Lukovic. He could have put it up from the left side. I don't know if he was trying. Look at this. He could have put it up earlier. Do you think Lukovic was going to come over? I guess he was worried about it getting blocked. Crawford's quite a savvy player. Boone over. tying his shoelaces. There's still time with 4 minutes and 12 seconds to go. But again, when you reflect back on that three-pointer from the corner from Marketa, you just think it's just not going to happen for Gaziantep tonight. And Crawford misses both. Bua goes after it, and Lukovic comes down with the rebound. Well, Mornar Bar closing in on their first victory of the Basketball Champions League season. Marketa for three, another one. And you really have to give Mornar Bar credit because they've come out tonight with a real sense of purpose. And they haven't let up. Marketa hitting that three. You know, pulling has just been a real thorn in the side all night long for Gaziantep.
Play regular, please. Okay? Play one side. But this Rita, run, screen.
You see the two-point shots hasn't been that great a disparity. It's the three-point shooting that has been the big difference. Mornar Bar tonight are 13 of 31, almost 42%. And Gaziantep 7 of 21. So, you know, that's 6 more three-pointers. They've got 18 more points from behind the arc. Market is now 3 of 5 from three-point range. Bull is 5 of 12. Jim Ulusoy back in the game, bounce pass. Hand off to Rich. Ulusoy has to let it fly, and he does. He hits a three. Well, maybe we'll see a little bit of heroics from him like we did against Nizhny Novgorod. Ulusoy harassing Needham in the backcourt. And then they finally call the foul on him. Yeah, he just kind of walked into him right at the end. Oh, the pass to a wide open Derek Needham. And the lead goes back to 13, and that is not a good one to give away for Gaziantep if you're chasing the game. Crawford drives and he gets rejected by Uroš Lukovic. Boy, he has played well tonight. He's been one of their best players. There he is, getting a rebound. I mean, played 17, almost 18 minutes, Lukovic. He's got 13 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 blocks. He's been very efficient tonight, plus 23 efficiency. Two and a half minutes to go. And the other thing you might want to consider, I would guess this would not come into play, although you never know, is you want to shorten the margin of defeat if you are Gaziantep because of a potential tiebreaker. Mornar Bar must be thinking, you know what, we could have played like this all season long. We just have not paid attention to the details, the execution. Tonight, we came out, we were confident, and this is the result. So the final 2 minutes playing out before us here in Bar, Montenegro. As the Bua continues to add to his tally. So 25 points now for Ivan Bua. Well, it's not impossible to come back from this deficit. Not impossible with a minute and a half, but again, if you let him dribble seconds off the clock. Now pulling back to Vranjes, misses. Ulusoy, long rebound. In the pass to Bua again, and now it's back to 9. Well, at least Bua's going to walk out of here with a big night. 27 points, 8 rebounds. And right now, the clock is the enemy for Gaziantep. So by letting this time go away, it's going to make it harder and harder. So the launch and the shot no good. Now Crawford off and running. And he does well, just takes it all the way in. 81-74, it's a 7-point deficit. Can they get any pressure on Mornar Bar? Can they force another steal here? Well, it's almost as if they think we're not able to apply that pressure, so we're not even going to try. We're going to let you take time off the clock and hope to get the rebound. And now Ulusoy commits a foul right at the end of the shot clock. Well, Pullen is the player. They just have not been able to stop tonight more than anybody. So his free throws take it back to a 9-point lead, 10-point lead. 3-point attempt. It's good from Batahan Dickman, who's just checked into the game. So 84-77 is how it is going to finish. I'm surprised Mornar Bar wouldn't go for another basket, to be honest, in terms of points differential. But anyway, got to give them credit. They played well tonight, Mornar Bar. Gaziantep, they didn't give up, but Mornar Bar had too much. They win it 84-77. Well, good to see the players meeting at midcourt and shaking hands after the game, and it's also good to see the smiles on the faces of Mornar Bar, because there's nothing worse than being a winless team in a competition. You want to get that first win, and maybe they can build from this. For Gaziantep, they got to try to focus on the positives. You know, they're not out of it. They just got to dig in, come back and try again next time. They're good enough to play with the best teams, but they're also not so good that they can't be pegged back by the worst teams, if that makes sense. So Mornar Bar, though, 56% shooting inside the arc, 38 beyond the arc, 88% at the free throw line. They out-rebounded Gaziantep. just overall a very impressive performance by Pavicevic's team, Mornar Bar, as they get their first win in the Basketball Champions League to go to 1-7. Bua finished with a game high 27 points, 15 for Crawford, 9 for Rich. Pulling again the 23 points and the 15 for Needham. He had 9 at halftime. And just plays like that, those are the real backbreakers. Can't give those away for Gaziantep. When we saw that one go in for Rich, we figured, well, he's going to start scoring, and he did. But the problem was Mornar Bar continued to score at the other end. You got to get stops. And I really think tonight, I think overall the bench probably of Gaziantep was exposed a little bit. The bench play was I thought much better coming from Mornar Bar. So, in fact, I'm just going to double check the bench scoring. Points from the bench, well, 25 points from the bench for Mornar Bar, 17 for Gaziantep. You win by 7. There's an 8-point difference in terms of points from the bench. So, yeah, you could say that was also a deciding factor. So, what happens next? Well, Mornar Bar have gotten their first win of the Basketball Champions League campaign, and they will follow this up with another home game next week against VEF Riga. And they owe VEF Riga because VEF Riga won the first game 80-74 back on game day 1. Gaziantep, meanwhile, will try to shake this off by traveling to Greece to play Peristeri Windmasters, a team that they led by double digits in the first meeting back on game day 1, but ended up losing. So they'll hope to get back on track, or to get on track, start getting on track on December 11th, next Wednesday in Greece. (84-77) the win for Mornar Bar over Gaziantep tonight here in the Basketball Champions League on game day 7.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Basketball Champions League Game Day 7.